Hello and welcome to the CorView Cloud How-To series. In this video, we will look at how to review the site details in CorView. After logging into CorView, use the menu bar at the top to navigate to the site list by selecting Setup and then Sites. CorView will initially display all the sites you have within your company. The list can be quickly narrowed down by using the filters or the Smart Search toolbox. For this example, we are going to review the site named How To Rectifier. By typing the name How To into the Smart Search toolbar, it will just display the site details for the one site. The first column is the company name the RMU is assigned to. If you are a multi-company administrator, you can use the Edit function to move the site between different companies. Note that the order the columns appear might be different on your account, as they can be rearranged to your preference by dragging and dropping. The next column displays the group name the site is a member of, and beside it, the site number if one is assigned. Moving over, the next column will display the site name. The active column indicates if the site is considered active in CorView. If the site is deactivated, it will continue to operate but will not appear in the readings page or map unless the Show Deactivated Sites filter is selected. Deactivating a site will also stop email alerts from that unit to be sent from CorView. The description column will contain a description of the site if it's been populated. The next column is the RMU's electronic serial number, or ESN, that is assigned to the site. The ESN can usually be found on a sticker on the RMU or under the antenna. If you swapped out the equipment at a site, updating the ESN to reflect the new RMU will ensure data continuity. The GPS column indicates that the RMU last transmitted a valid set of GPS coordinates to CorView. The GPS latitude and longitude will provide you with the last coordinates that the RMU transmitted to CorView. Using the scroll bar to move to the right, the next column is the report frequency, which indicates how often this RMU will transmit to CorView, in this case, once every 6 hours. The measurement type column will display how the RMU is configured with regards to wiring and what type of CP asset it is measuring. For example, a bond, a coupon, or in this case, a rectifier. The column to the right will display the RMU hardware type and the data communication module type within the RMU. In this case, we can see that it is an RMU3 with a cellular antenna. The next two columns will show the last time the RMU transmitted and the first time the RMU transmitted. The interruption cycle order column will display if the RMU is programmed to start interruption with the off portion of the waveform first or start on first, as is the case here. The next 12 columns will show all the alarm limits currently programmed into the RMU. Please refer to the video on alarm limits for further details. The column labeled RF channel will display the radio frequency channel that the RMU is currently using for data communications. Note that this function is not applicable to all RMUs and may just display 0. The next two columns are settings for ER probes. Please refer to the RMU1ER or ERP1 manual for further details. The firmware version column will display the version of firmware that the RMU is currently running. Note that your RMU does not need to have the most up-to-date firmware to function properly. The GPS sat count column will show the number of GPS satellites that were visible to the RMU during the last transmission, and the color will indicate if the GPS receiver had time lock status or not. Time lock is required for interruption. Green indicates that the RMU had time lock, whereas red will indicate it did not. The CP relay status column will indicate if the interruption relay is currently on, off, or interrupting. The cellular technology column will let you know what type of data communications module the RMU contains. If it is a cellular-equipped RMU, it will also indicate the generation of cellular module, in this case 3G, but maybe 4G, LTE, or LTM, etc. Scrolling to the right again, the next two columns indicate if the RMU is capable of being controlled from CorView and if that control is enabled. The next three columns indicate if the RMU is capable of having its alarm limits updated remotely via CorView. Please refer to the video on remotely changing alarm limits for more information. Scrolling to the right, one last time, the export key column will display the key for this site if it has been configured. The export key is used to link RMU readings to third-party software applications when the data is exported from the CorView platform. The fast sample frequency column will indicate the fast sample tier the RMU has been configured to. If the RMU is not capable of fast sampling, it will display the default of tier 0, no fast sampling allowed. The next column will indicate the last time the site has been edited. Lastly are user configurable notes that can indicate the last service performed at the site and any applicable notes. If you would like to remove columns that do not pertain to your application, click the three bars here and simply uncheck the ones that aren't of interest to you and press apply. This will remove those columns from the table, which will help keep the clutter down. If you have any further questions at all, please refer to our website at www.mobiltex.com or call our support team toll-free at 1-844-689-3282.